We on? We on? All right.
Guess who is that? The boy B Mizak, aka Mr.
Guard Grill Boxing, Coltrane, reporting live from the 215. Man, it's been a minute. I know. Shout out to Roberto Flack, our extended family from the 305, who've been holding down the Guard Grill Boxing channel. Shout out to Ride Die, Big Mike, Docs, Sweetpea, Volley Boy, the whole BJ Murray, the whole GYGB family out there. It's been a minute since I've been here doing this thing here, and I promise y'all that Woo album coming with the whole squad. Anybody that's been following Guard Your Girl Boxing, let me just jump right into it, and we're not gonna waste no time about this. Know how I felt about Sweetpea, Pernell, Whitaker. When I first got the news, I was hoping that it was like fake news, and not that I would hope that somebody would spread something like that, but you just know how we know how the internet goes. 20% of it is real, the other 80% of it is BS. And I was seriously hoping that was the case, but unfortunately we lost a legend, Sweetpea Pernell Whitaker, who, like I said, if you've been following this channel, anybody that know me personally know how I feel about Pernell Whitaker. In my opinion, he was one of the greatest fighters of all time. There's not a boxer that he didn't influence, from Floyd Mayweather to Terrence Bud Crawford. They all got wrinkles of Sweetpea game, and the guy was just different, man. And for us to lose him, and I personally believe that boxing, not just with Sweetpea, just as a whole, doesn't do a great enough job at paying homage to his predecessors, so to speak. And I'm glad that I got a chance to do that tribute video. And anybody that's been following the channel know that I did a tribute to Sweetpea about almost 10 years ago now. It was called, I forget what it was called, but anyhow, I'm just proud and thankful that I was able to praise him while he was living and breathing. I don't know if he saw the video or what have you, but whatever. But people out there, that I've really made it for Sweetpea fans and myself personally. That guy is the reason why I got into boxing. Sweetpea did things in the ring that I don't think you'll ever see again. I mean, he was just such a freak of nature and such a defensive specimen, and he was a great offensive fighter. I remember when he fought Buddy McGirt, and people was questioning his power, and he was able to put Buddy McGirt down. The list goes on. Obviously the most heartbreaking one was when he fought Chavez, and they jerked him out of the decision. But, nobody can take away his greatness from him. I remember when he fought De La Hoya, he was supposed to be past his prime, and De La Hoya couldn't land a punch on him. I mean, he was that slippery defensively as a fighter. But, the list goes on of all his great accomplishments. I just want to remember him for his impact to the boxing world. And like I said, you can't name a fighter out there that Sweetpea didn't influence. So, made a late, great Sweetpea Pernell Whitaker rest well, and we'll live on through his name, and hopefully boxing do right by his predecessors. But moving along to 2019, damn, I can't believe it's 2019. Do y'all realize we started GYGB in 2007? That's crazy. 2007. If my math serves me correctly, that's 12 years ago. And I'm doing this video. Anybody know me? I like to move around and hop around and move with my hands. But, I'm doing this, time has evolved. Things has changed. You can just upload stuff from your videos. Your phone. You got to remember, when we first started doing Guard the Grill, we had like a big, giant movie camera we were shooting the videos with. That's how much times has changed. Phones just wasn't as smart as they are now. But I'm going to jump right into last Saturday night, Keith Thurman versus Manny Pacquiao. Because I was going to do a prediction show, but I never got a chance to do it. But that's neither here or there. I actually picked Keith Thurman to beat Manny Pacquiao. Let me just go on the record and say that. Ride Die was the only guy from our camp that picked Pacquiao, and he warned us that, Keith Thurman is not who we think he is. But for me, I wasn't picking Thurman because he's some great fighter. I just thought maybe Manny is older. Keith Thurman is technically a bigger guy. And Keith Thurman has enough movement where he can give Manny problems. The things that give Keith Thurman problems, Manny don't do well. Like, I never looked at Manny Pacquiao as a devastating body puncher, although he did have that one moment against Margarito when he stopped him in his tracks with a vicious body shot and had the stars ringing like remember on Mike Tyson Punch Out, you get, I forget what it was, you get like coins or something when you punch somebody in a body part and it go ding. That's how it was when he hit Margarita with that joint. But anyhow, I just never thought that he would give him the problems that he gave him, especially to the body. And what was the 10th round? I forget what round. Guard your girl. We never use Google. Everything is off the top of the dome. But I think it was the 10th round because Thurman started to have a nice little rally from like the 7th to the 8th, 9th. I forget. It was a nice 3-round rally that Keith Thurman had. He's getting himself back into this fight. And then Pacquiao hits him with a body shot. And I missed it because it happened so fast. I was watching it at like a sports bar. So everybody was like talking loud. So I kind of missed it. And I saw Thurman like bite his glove. So I didn't know if he hurt his hand. But when they showed the replay, I saw the body shot. I think Pacquiao was even shocked himself that he hurt him with the body shot. Now, like I said, if you go back and dig in the archive, Keith Thurman, he got a bad stomach. His digestive system is weak. Like, you punch him anywhere in that area, he gonna cough up his lunch. And we saw Luis Collazo do it to him, just recently. Josito Lopez, who's really a glorified junior welterweight who got bored up by Canelo. People forget that story. That's how he actually got bored up into these higher weight classes. And now, he fought Thurman, and he looked like Marvin Hagler against Keith Thurman. So Keith Thurman's a guy that hasn't always looked the way he was supposed to look, but he, beat guys like Danny Garcia. He beat Sean Porter, and none of these fights was like Keith Thurman has arrived type of fights, but he did enough to win. But I always said this. Well, you guys don't know this because I've been MIA. I said this crop of welterweights, and you can put Earl Spence in here too. Although I think Earl Spence is really good, but nobody in this crop of welterweights I go transcending next level. That's different. I never saw that before. And what you saw Saturday night was transcending great versus just good. Great versus good. It's levels to this boxing thing. And I kept telling people this prior leading up. Even though I picked Thurman to win, that was more so with age and Pacquiao being over the hill. But it goes to show you a 40-year-old great fighter with a little bit of this left in him, whatever that may be, can beat a almost 30-year-old fighter. That's what greatness does. Greatness just don't wash away. Like, it stays here. And the thing about it that's crazy is Pacquiao was brought to premiere. Remember, he leaves Bob Arum. He goes sign with Al Haymon. Nobody's going to tell me that Pacquiao wasn't brought there to be this, expensive serve-up fighter, basically. I thought he was brought there basically to help promote these younger guys. He done knocked Broner off. He done knocked Thurman off. And next they're saying he's going to fight Earl Spence. Now, I'm not picking him to be Earl Spence, but if that was to happen, now you're talking about changing the whole landscape of where you put him at on an all-time list, because now he has this is like a whole nother career that he's having. Forget all the stuff he accomplished in the past. Now phase 2, he's fighting in he's fighting in the earbud, skinny jeans, stare down at your phone, quitting school to go wait tables at wherever and work a bar. A barista at Starbucks. Struggling writer, blogger. I'm a professional influencer. This era of fighters Pacquiao is fighting against. So we gotta figure out where we put this dude at. Now y'all know how I felt about Manny Pacquiao. I used to call him. Caught a lot of flack, a lot of hate for it. Rightfully so, because. Listen, greatness comes along once in a lifetime. We open up with Pernell Whitaker. You're not going to see this again. And it's a shame that in boxing, we still clamoring for Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Think about that for a second. These dudes are in their 40s. They're old enough to be some of these dudes' fathers. But there's nobody transcending. Now, you want to go with Canelo, which is a guy that had to, listen, this don't knock to Canelo, whatever, but he beat her almost, he had his claim to fame is beating up a guy that he waited out to fight, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, he beat Danny Jacobs, but okay. But my point I'm trying to make is Pacquiao, Mayweather is still, they're being begged to come back by the public. I know some people like let them go. You can't let them go because of the mediocrity that's out there. Look, I'm Coltrane. This is Guard Your Girl Boxing. I promise y'all I'm jumping back in the lab. Hey, listen, Nas came back. So why can't I?